Hi and welcome to the last of these videos before we get started on the free course on May the 20th, which I can't wait for. Today I want to answer a question that came in from two different people, from Barbara and from Elaine, both of whom asked, Barbara said, I find it hard to get going, and then when I do, I end up becoming very neat and tidy. I can't seem to let go and do what I feel and see in my head. I would love to paint and create loosely. And Elaine said, I can paint and draw copies of what I see, but I can't seem to paint what I want to express. I want to be more expressive, more spontaneous, not so concerned about getting it like real life. This is a really interesting challenge because we're often asked, more experienced artists or artists who have got what's considered a loose style will often be asked, how do I loosen up? And it's hard to even know what loosen up means, but I think I know what you mean. You feel that you are constraining yourself, that you are keeping a tight rein on your self-expression, and you are not allowing all of yourself to come out. And I would like you, Barbara and Elaine, and anyone else who feels like this, to do two things. I'd like you to, first of all, do some journaling. You don't need an actual journal for this. You can type it into your computer. You can write on a scrap of paper. But I'd like you to write about why it is that you feel it's hard to let go and express yourself. So you would start by saying, I find it hard to let go with my paints because... And then whatever the first answer you get is, I want you to go another layer deeper. So you might say, I find it hard to let go and loosen up with my paints because I don't want to make a mess. And then I want you to say, I don't want to make a mess because, and I want you to figure out why you don't want to make a mess. And then you might have to ask again, you might have to question that answer. Go down until you feel you've got to the root of why you don't want to loosen up. Because there is something holding you back and it's different for everyone. It might be teachers that were really negative about your work in school and told you had to be neat and tidy. It might be parents who told you not to waste art materials and make sure that everything looked beautiful. It might be a really negative partner or spouse or friend whose voice you can hear saying, oh, that's ugly. Whatever it is, there's something holding you back from feeling like you can express yourself. And my guess is, if you are not expressing yourself fully in your art, then you're not doing it in your life. That's the exciting part. When we get through that, and we get you loosened up, then you start expressing yourself in other areas of life too. Watch out, everybody who knows Barbara and Elaine, because they are going to change after this free course. So that's the first thing I want you to do, is to journal and just dig in and understand what life experiences, what parts of your personal history, what personality traits are leading to that desire to keep things neat and tidy and within the lines. And then the next thing I want you to do, and this is going to be more of a challenge, is I want you to go into your workspace, get out some cheap paper or whatever you've got that's the least expensive or least thing you care about. I want you to get some paints out. I want you to put lots of paint out, and I want you to let loose for half an hour. I want you to put the timer on. You're only allowed to paint for half an hour. And I want you to do something that you don't care how it looks. I just want you to experience what it feels like to paint loose and free with paint. And when you're done, you're planning to put that painting in the bin on the fire. It's not for you to keep. And doing this is a way of just experiencing the feeling of what it feels like to let go and express yourself. And just giving yourself a little taste in a safe environment where you only have to do it for half an hour and you know you can throw it away without anyone else looking at it. Of course, if you end up liking what you've made, you can keep it, but you know that it's fine if you put it on the fire. This was an exercise just for you to experience the feeling. And then if you enjoy it, do it some more. So the answer to how to loosen up and be more expressive is really two parts. The first part is to understand why you find it so difficult. And the second part is to have a go at doing it. But there is a third part, and this comes further down the road, and it's not something we'll be covering in the free course. It is something I get into in my longer courses, which will be available after that free course for anyone who wants them. The third thing is having a really good understanding of the technical principles of what makes a good painting gives you it's like, what do you call the wheels you put on a bicycle when you're teaching a kid to ride a bike? The safety wheels. The technical knowledge is like the safety wheels. It means you can go outside the lines because you know principles of composition, principles of color, principles of line, principles of shape. You know the things that will make a good painting in the end. And so you feel free within that knowledge to then go loose and let go. And sometimes what's holding us back is that we don't have that knowledge. And so when we do let loose, we make a big mess. And that's not a good feeling. I'm saying in this exercise, it's okay to make a big mess because I just want you to have the feeling of letting go. But if you are interested in learning more about those principles and easy ways to bring a painting under control after you've played and had fun with it, then consider taking one of the longer courses, which we will talk about at the end of the free course, or somebody's course, somebody's teaching about those principles, because there is important knowledge that you need in order to be able to make things that satisfy you. But the first thing is to be able to express yourself honestly and strongly and clearly and personally with no regard for whether it's good or bad. That's the first step, and that's what we're going to do in the free taster course. And that's what I hope Barbara and Elaine you'll have a bash at before we even get started. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on May 20th when we get started with the course. Bye.